Today's episode is brought to you by Restaurant.com. With Restaurant.com, you can save at thousands of restaurants across the country with just a few clicks. Their dining deals range from $5 to $100, never expire, and cost you a fraction of the face value. Dinner has never been easier with Restaurant.com. Used for dine-in, takeout, or delivery.
Restaurant.com is offering our listeners 50% off their next purchase by going to www.restaurant.com/podcast. That's www.restaurant.com/podcast for 50% off your next purchase. Restaurant.com is the best deal every meal.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 244. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. For as little as $1, folks, you can help support Rated G in creating new content for you, the consumer, the listener, the fan. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. And one final note before we get this show kicked off, we have an awesome giveaway going on right now. We are giving away one copy of Cyberpunk 2077 for the system of your choice, PS4, Xbox One, or PC. To enter this contest, you must be following us on YouTube. You must like this video and drop a comment on what you're looking forward to in Cyberpunk in the comment section below. You can enter once per episode up until the launch of the game. And finally, this giveaway is open to U.S. residents only. Good luck to all who enter. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan. Welcome to the 9th generation, Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Dan, it's here. The Xbox launched last Tuesday. PlayStation 5 launched last Thursday. We are now squarely in the 9th generation.
Whoa, you forgot one more. You forgot one more. The
Nintendo Game & Watch?
The Game & Watch launched Friday the 13th.
That's right.
It did.
That's
it
right.
Did. We'll talk about that a little later. But
the handheld that started it all. Yep.
The handheld that started it all. Was that before we get into it? Was the Game & Watch before Atari, or was Atari first? When did the Game & Watch come and play?
That's a very good question. They were about the same time. I think the Atari was 77. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You were in college at the time. You don't remember?
That's right. I was in college at the time. I was babysitting you. You were in diapers.
Yeah, I was a baby.
I came by, babysat.
I don't remember.
No. Before my time. 77, I think, for the Atari. Game & Watch, right around there. Maybe 79, maybe 80. I don't know. It's something we got to look up. But definitely in that same era, for sure. Right around that time.
I just looked it up. 1980.
Oh, see, there you go. I'm on point, then.
The power of Google. You know, when I was a kid, I had to look in the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yes. Or the World Book, if you had the competing brand.
Yeah. So I remember that. Man, we're old.
I know. Flipping pages to find out information like cavemen. This is how it was back in the day, kids. You didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah, we had to flip pages and run from dinosaurs. It was prehistoric back then.
Right. We had to use this thing called the car to go to this place called the library to check out books using this system called the Dewey Decimal System.
So
yeah.
I'm going to call it now. 20 years from now, libraries, when you go to the library, it'll just be an iPad and download a book.
Yeah.
You're going there to rent an iPad, the cheapest version, or a Kindle.
Right.
To download the book. That's what the library is going to be in. Like,
can I get a book? You mean the book? Yes, I will take the book.
No. If you want a book, you gotta go to the antique shop. That's
yes.
They're gonna have those. Those are
you gotta get that sports almanac 1950 to 2000, and then go back in time in the time machine and bet on those games. Nothing can go wrong, Dan.
Well, we're here. Gen 9 is here. Officially, the PS4 and Xbox One X. Well, Xbox One in general, whatever version of it you have, is last gen. You know what that means?
Yep.
That means it's kind of retro.
Yep.
That's kind of retro. Wow, if you're still sporting that PS4, that's retro. That's retro.
Yeah.
That's last generation.
Yeah. Sitting there playing Madden 20. Psh, get out of here.
Oh my God, you're a retro gamer.
It's all about that Madden 21 right now.
So look, next gen launched. All right, Microsoft and Sony both had big events for the launch. Right, Microsoft had this big 6-hour stream that was kind of awkward in my view because they were in like the lobby of the Xbox wing of the Microsoft building. Right, that was in Redmond, Washington. You can see people leaving the building or going up the escalator.
Right.
You know, they had a lot of interviews with developers and stuff like that. They talked about the history of Xbox. I thought it was entertaining personally because if you're like a video game nerd, then, you know, it's kind of entertaining to hear about the history and talk about the different games. You know, Sony had sort of like they didn't have a stream from what I can tell. I got to look again. Maybe I missed it. And they didn't have it on the actual PlayStation YouTube channel.
Right.
But they had this big, spectacular, you know, fireworks show. And Microsoft did the same thing. They had a Microsoft, you know, fireworks show. And I think different countries did different things. There was this huge life-size, not even life-size, it's beyond life-size Xbox light show that was like in Australia or New Zealand. No, I think it was New Zealand because New Zealand is like first in like as far as time zone goes. Right? New Zealand got it first. That is this huge box that looked like this big Xbox, giant Xbox, right? And this light show. So I thought it was cool for what they could do because you can't have live crowds and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're here, baby. Gen 9, it's here.
So
now, you're halfway here.
I'm halfway. Well, I'm all the way here. If you I'm in it. I got an Xbox. I did not get a PlayStation 5 yet.
Well, you're halfway here. You got an Xbox. I don't have either an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. We both tried to get a PlayStation 5 on Walmart.
We did
because they were doing it every 3
among
hours.
Other places. Like, Best Buy had it for like a minute. They were up and gone. It was a shit show. Walmart had it at 12, 3, 6, and 9. They had coordinated. We're going to put some out. So yeah, like we said, couldn't get one. So you almost got one though, right?
No. Screw that. You know what? Fuck that. R-rated. I don't care. I'm pissed. Boy.
Slap the explicit sticker on it.
Okay, I got one. Okay, I snagged one snagged the PS5 on Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay, because it kept sending me these notifications that told me the Xbox or the PlayStation 5 was in stock, and I would go to the Walmart. I would go straight, like 2 seconds after I get the email, I would go straight to Walmart.com. Gone. Okay, gone. I'm not faster than a bot. So you know what I said? I said I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the screen right there, ready. And as soon as I get the email, I'm just gonna refresh. Right. Yep. So I kept the stupid screen up. Yeah. Got a PS5, paid for it. And I got a cancellation email 5 minutes later. Okay, and people said they got this, and that was for PS5. People said they got a cancellation email for the Xbox, a bunch of Xbox Series X's. So the bot got it before it could refresh in their system. So you bought nothing essentially, right? Which is crazy. Yeah. Just take. You know what? How about this? Just take my money, and as soon as you get it in stock, ship it to me.
I mean, there has to be a better way to deal with this, right? Because, like, there has to be a better way to queue people up as opposed to just like, hey, kick down the barn doors for 5 minutes and here you go, try and get it, and then their whole entire system crashes, right? Like Walmart was showing me this cute dog, telling me that
oh my
cart's
god,
all
I hate
wrapped up
that
right
damn
now.
dog. I kept seeing a damn dog. I'm tired of that dog.
I know. I mean, it was cute, but Christ, I wanted my damn Xbox.
No, show me the damn PlayStation and say I got it. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid bots, stupid resellers. Already on eBay, you can get an Xbox for $1,000 and a PS5 for $2,000. Screw those people.
Yeah, well, the joke's on them because people don't have the money to buy it. I mean, it's the age of COVID, man. Nobody has a job right now. The people that do are very thankful to have that job, and they don't really have excess money. I don't see why people are charging that much money for it. I don't see how they're going to make $2,000 on a PlayStation. That's like I don't know what, a 300% markup, 400% markup.
That's crazy.
It's a 400% markup, right?
I can wait until next month. Right. I can wait to December when it'll be readily available. It will be in stores for Black Friday. GameStop at least GameStop said they'll be in stores. They're only going to have like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Are you gonna be willing to wait online for all that time? You willing to risk COVID and the cold for a possibility of getting one?
I'll tell a GameStop employee, I'll pay you $100 if you can keep one for me.
Oh my God! Now you're paying eBay prices. No,
this is $100. I'll pay you $600, not $500. Right? It was the.
I don't know.
Come on, we thought it would be $600, right? So
I slipped.
We're willing to pay
20,
$6.
maybe.
All right, 50. How about 50?
You don't have to tell me. I'm not the GameStop employee. I'm not the one you need to negotiate with. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't have to wait online for an Xbox because I have a Series X. I have the mini fridge. It does fit in my entertainment console.
Tell me how next gen is. Tell me how next gen 9 is.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and start.
Tell me how the fridge works.
Let me go ahead and tell you about the box opening because it was very elegant. They were taking a very nice like Apple approach because you open the thing up and it opens up like a box of donuts. Right, and then it has the thing, and it has a cute little message. It says like "Game On," and it's wrapped around like the protective black sheet. Right, so you pull it out, and then it's the whole big unit. Right, and then behind it, there's a little compartment for the controller, the HDMI wire, and the power cord. So you pull all that out. Right, and you plug it all in, turn it on. Immediately, it starts walking you through the setup. And you use your phone to do it, right? It actually.
Wait, you need your phone, or can you do it without your phone?
I don't know if you need your phone, but it certainly was very easy. And they said, "Hey, break out your phone, and we'll interact with it that way." So I think they get some like network information or whatever from your phone, because you log into your Xbox account, right, via your phone to get information, and then it's on the network, and then it sends it to the Xbox. And there's like a bunch of steps to set it up and personalize it. It imports your stuff from your Xbox One settings, right? Because that should be up in the cloud already. So it does all that for you. And then once that's about maybe like 20 minutes to a half an hour to get all that set up. There's an update for the OS, day 1. There's a day 0, I guess a day 0 patch update. So you get that. It's fairly small. It's under a gig. And then you're like good to go. Then you can start putting games on there. So I did... I guess I can talk a little bit further about them in the games that we're playing, but I popped in Assassin's Creed, I popped in Gears, and I popped in FIFA 21. So I ended up playing all 3. They look good, but I would be hard pressed to say that I could pinpoint that it's next gen in still frames.
Other than the loading time, you mean? Like is next
well, I mean, yeah. The loading time is very noticeable. The loading time is big, and the performance is big. Everything is silky smooth. There is no chugging. right? There's a little bit of pop in like Assassin's Creed. I noticed that a little bit, but that's with stuff like far in the distance, right? It's not stuff that's like right in your purview. That's like mountains that are across the river and over the hill, and then you're like, I see some stuff pop in, pop out. So it's not too bad. FIFA ran smooth. Gears runs buttery smooth. So it's very nice. I don't think we're gonna see anything groundbreaking in terms of visuals until like next year. Right, because they're still trying to bridge that gap between previous.
I don't even think next year. I don't even think next year. They said that Epic Games said their new engine isn't going to be available to different studios to use.
The Unreal 5 engine, yeah.
Unreal 5 is not going to be available until the end of next year. Right. So you can't even use it until like maybe November, December of next year. So I don't think until 2022 or early 2023 we're going to see what next gen really looks like, right? I mean, Spider-Man Miles Morales, they said that they didn't even scratch the surface of what the PS5 can do.
Well, right. So, I mean, it's you're talking about one engine so far, right? It depends how the
that one engine looks amazing. That
one engine does look
crazy.
Amazing. But it
look crazy.
Well, I mean, I will give you an example on the other end. You look at the Yakuza Like a Dragon. It is a very poorly optimized. It is a old school style engine that doesn't scale very well. So you run into problems, right? Because you have to build it for the Xbox One and the PS4, like the base level systems as well as the next gen systems, and it doesn't scale well. Like the Xbox version is only 900p at maximum, right? The Xbox Series X version 900p doesn't even do 1080. That is a poor engine, right? Some of the other engines are like the some of the stuff that Ubisoft is using and the things that Rockstar is using are much better optimized for scalability. So you'll see some improvements, or they'll be able to take advantage of the extra horsepower. So I think like if Rockstar says Grand Theft Auto 6 like next year, for some reason they end up dropping it, I think that would be like through the roof. Like they would have an engine that'd be able to take care of it. So I don't know. Maybe it is going to be 2022 before our jaws drop, but I'm hoping like next November.
All right, Dave. As we record the show, I just want to inform you.
Go ahead.
The Xbox Series X and the PS5 is still sold out everywhere. I just checked while you were talking. Still sold out. I'm on the hunt, baby. I'm on the hunt.
Hot damn.
I'm getting impatient. I'm getting a little impatient. Still,
we are both on the hunt, and if we can get two, we're gonna get two.
I had it. Walmart. I had it in my cart. I had two. I paid $1,000, almost $1,000 with tax. It was like $1,000. I paid for it. I got it, and they canceled my order. I'm just reiterating my frustration. That's all. Yeah. So, Dave, we have an awesome show this week. Okay. We're going to talk. Microsoft is still buying studios. Okay. Twitch streamers are protesting. But let's start with the MCU. Okay. We are a big fan of the Avengers. We did a whole show. We're big comic book nerds too. I mean, we did a whole show about Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I think we did a whole show with we talked at least into great length with Star Wars when Star Wars first came back.
Yep. And we did an Endgame episode too. We
did an Endgame episode, right? Like that was awesome. Can you imagine, like, 2020 is the first year apparently that we haven't had an MCU show or movie since 2009. So they've been very consistent.
That's crazy.
So that first Iron Man movie came out in 2008, I believe, and then they had nothing in 2009, and then ever since 2010 on, we've had something from the MCU and MCU universe.
That's wild. That's wild. We had 10 consistent years or 9 consistent years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, we had nothing this year. Obviously, we were supposed to have WandaVision, Falcon, and
Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And we were supposed to have the Black Widow movie, right? And all of that got...
Oh, the Black Widow was supposed to be May. That's right.
Yeah, all of that got delayed. So that's crazy, that this is the first year without anything from the MCU.
I know.
Nothing
well,
to further the universe.
The Black Widow movie is done. It's been done. It's been in the can. They just don't want to put it out and then
they want to make some money on it. They want to make some money and get their money back.
Of course. I don't blame them, but I honestly just would have put it online like I did with Mulan, put it on their network and charge them $20-$30 for it. And there you go.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, $30. I'm not spending that. I wouldn't even...
Yeah, and people kind of said that about Mulan, but that was for various reasons. I think the $30 price tag on top of the service subscription was just one of many issues with the live action Mulan.
Listen, no offense to Black Widow. If you haven't, and this is spoilers for Endgame, so if you haven't seen Endgame by now, just fast forward 60 seconds. I mean, okay.
Can you not just say that it's a prequel?
3, 2, 1.
There he goes.
It's a prequel, okay, because she's dead. She's not coming back. She's gone. Okay.
Yep.
Any Black Widow movie you see, it's before the Avengers or during the Avengers, right? During the MCU, because she's gone. She's not coming back. They said you can't wish her back. She's gone.
Well, who knows? I mean, they have the Infinity Gauntlet, right? They can do whatever they want.
They said that you can't wish her back, and during the Infinity Gauntlet,
you could do whatever you want. Come on now.
I mean, maybe they'll get another wish for something else, right? But she's as of right now, she's gone. Listen, Tony Stark is gone, but I still say he's coming back some way somehow. Different universe in the multiverse.
You think he's going to be a Jedi spirit, a la Star Wars?
I think he's coming back. Okay, I think he'll be back for at least a cameo. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So that's crazy. Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh, well, I've been playing next gen.
You've been playing Gen 9. You're playing Gen 9. Tell me how great Gen 9 is.
The aforementioned Valhalla, the FIFA 21, and the Gears 5, the Gears 5 Online. I played a little bit of the single player, buttery smooth, 60 frames, which is great. Actually, it can do 120, but my TV does not support 120 frames a second. Very upset.
Okay.
Did not realize that was going to be a thing. Did not realize the games were going to be that way. So when I bought my TV, I said I need the HDR. Right? It's got to have all the bells and whistles. I got the top of the line TV. And then the next year, they had TVs with HDMI 2.1, which is the thing you need for 120 hertz, 120 frames a second. So, a little pro tip for all the people out there trying to buy TVs this holiday season, because the prices are good and they're on sale now. Make sure, if you want next gen, make sure you get a TV that's got HDR, right? Make sure that it's got HDMI 2.1 compatible hookups, because that's what gets you the 120 hertz. And make sure it's a good name brand.
And you need to use the HDMI that comes with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because those are the HDMI wires that are 2.1, right?
Yeah, 2.1 certified. Yep. I mean, you can get them from around the internet, but it's very hard to find them because everyone uses weird language and whatnot. I don't even think the Amazon wires are 2.1, like the Amazon Basics. Unless they put like new ones out.
No. I have Amazon 2.1 HDMI wires. I made sure that it said it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to see if the ones that I bought are, because I don't think they explicitly said it on there. But okay, well, good to know. Good to know that they have them out there. But yeah, use the ones that are in the box. You're good to go. It's a 6-foot wire, unless you need longer wire. In some cases, you may need a 9 or a 12 foot.
I have two 6-foot wires and one 3-foot.
Nice.
So,
but yeah.
I'm not gonna. Oh, well, I'm happy that you're having fun with the Xbox.
Yeah, that's good.
I wish they would have more exclusive games. I mean, right now the only console exclusive at least, is Gears Tactics, right? Because that came out on PC first, and Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yep.
Which I think the exclusivity is, I think it's out now for PlayStation 5, which is weird, but I think so.
Wait, what?
You can definitely buy it, and it shows it. They keep talking about it on a push PlayStation or push.
You sure it's not a pre-order? I don't know if that's true. It was supposed to be a year of exclusivity, I thought.
I thought so too, but then they keep talking about it on pushsquare.com, which is a PlayStation centric.
Just because they're talking about it, yeah, okay. It launches 4 months. It launches 4 months after the Series X. I'm looking at Eurogamer right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at Eurogamer. March 2nd, 2021 is when you'll be able to get it for PlayStation.
That's actually not true because I'm looking at Amazon right now and it says I can buy Yakuza Like a Dragon for PS4 November and it'll be here November 17th.
That's okay. I mean, that's PS4, maybe not the PS5 version.
Yeah, but it's still not. Then that's not really exclusive.
The PS5 version.
It's next gen exclusive. Okay,
well, I mean, nothing is next gen exclusive, Dan. The only thing that's next gen exclusive is the Astro World.
No, that's actually not true. Nope, that's not true. Astro World, Demon Souls is only a PS5 game, and Sackboy is
Sackboy's on PS4.
Sackboy's on PS4?
Sackboy's on PS4. Yeah.
All right, then Demon Souls. Then Demon Souls.
Demon Souls, a game that we are both not going to buy and never play.
We're both not going to. I'll buy it. I'll never play it. I'll never play it.
But that's not the point, right? If that's what you're saying, if you're saying, hey, there's no next gen exclusives, hey, there's no games that I want to play and this and that or whatever. You know that going in, right? We know that going in. We want the new systems because we want to try it all out and see how it is. It is a performance bump at the moment, and it's a very good performance bump. I think it's worth it if you want it, right? I'm having a great time with it. I can play all my old Xbox games. I got the new controller. It feels nice, right? The interface is the same for both, which is good enough to learn anything new about it, which I thought was kind of cool, at least for Xbox. But yeah, man.
I think we're both curious about that DualSense controller, though. Everyone keeps Everyone keeps talking about it.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be doing some cool stuff. Hopefully, they have games that like really take advantage of it beyond Astro World. I think they will because they're kind of pushing it pretty hard.
Call of Duty. I think I saw someone in the Call of Duty review said something about it taking advantage of the DualSense.
Sure.
Well,
sure.
Yeah. I will say this.
Stuff with it.
When you're an early adopter, there's some issues, right? You that's the risk you run when you're an early adopter of something, right? So some people say their review unit for the PS5 bricks when they do the update, right? And then some people are also saying that their review units for the Xbox, the disk drive doesn't work.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of issues on both sides. Obviously both are huge problems. I mean, I don't want my system to break, and I don't want my disk drive not to work because I'm buying it because I want to use physical disk. I'm not buying.
I mean, it would be under warranty, right? If that was the case.
Yeah.
Those are obviously hardware failures of 100%. The extreme case,
100%. But it would be a huge disappointment to get either console, right? After going through this war with scalpers and bots to fight to get it, and you finally get it, and then
you have to ship it back, and it's going to be a month
because it breaks.
Yeah. At least a month. I mean, I don't even know how long. 4 to 6 weeks is usually the usual turnaround time. So, my God. Yeah. I do not want to have to deal with any of that. Yeah.
So, Dave, you've been playing next gen. But I've been playing the third console that came out.
Console.
No, it's not the Atari VCS. No, it's not the Intellivision. I got the Game & Watch for Super Mario Brothers. I've been playing that.
Yeah, how is it?
It is an actual, you can use it as a watch, a clock, right? And you can change the background, which is pretty cool. You can play Super Mario Brothers 1. You can play Super Mario Brothers 2, which they call the Lost Levels, but it's really just Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan.
Right.
And you can play the original Game & Watch game, which is just volleyball, right? That's essentially what, or juggling.
Yeah.
Right? You're just juggling balls. It's pretty cool. I was playing with it. Super Mario Brothers. I got all the way to the castle in Super Mario Brothers 1, and then Super Mario Brothers 2 was just really, really tough. The D-pad feels good. Everything feels good. It's just super small. It's smaller than my iPhone 8 Plus, right?
Wow.
So it's just super small. It's a novelty. It's for collectors, to be honest. I can't imagine, using this I can't imagine. I keep it in the box, and I love the fact that if on the the box, the plastic covering that comes off, like the plastic slip that comes off, has like Mario, like original Mario Brothers themed stuff on it, so it fits when it comes in a box, right? Like you have in the back, if you turn the back, you see Bowser's castle, but when you slip it out, all that Bowser's castle stuff is on the plastic covering.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
So
Good
I just
on
like the
Nintendo.
artwork that
Yeah.
I like the artwork on it. I mean, it's simple. It just comes with that instruction manual and the wire to charge it. That's it.
Sure.
No charger. You have to have your own charger. Same thing.
Is it USB-C?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't even look at the charger. The wire. I just took it out and threw it to the side because it was already powered. And just like a watch, it has like the three different energy notches at the top. So I had two out of the three. So it was like almost fully charged.
There you go.
There was no need to charge it.
Yeah, it's wild to think that the Nintendo DS, right, was essentially that. That was the precursor to it some 20, 25 years earlier. And they went back to it, right? Innovations on the handheld thing. The little D-pad cross thing, right? Nobody had that up until the NES came out as an actual home console with the D-pad and like the two buttons. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
So I have an original Game & Watch and I have a new Game & Watch,
and
which
the new
I
Game &
will
Watch.
I
Nice.
would take some pictures. I would take some pictures of it and post it on
You
it.
gotta, man. You gotta.
So, Dave, you have an indie game spotlight.
That's right. Bringing it
This
back,
week.
Dan. It's been
Bringing
a
it
while.
back.
It's been a while
like,
since
the Game & Watch.
That's right.
Everything that's old is new again.
That's right. That's right. I played a game. It is free on the Epic Game Store. I highly recommend everybody to play it because I downloaded it and then I waited a couple days and then I kicked it up yesterday and I was like, I don't know why I waited. This game is fantastic. It's a game called The Texorcist, the story of Ray Bibbia.
Is it a game about texting?
It is a game about demons and devils, right? It's a play on The Exorcist. You are a member of the church, right? A member of the clergy. And it's a combination between Typing of the Dead and Enter the Gungeon. So the way you do attacks is you read parts of the Bible, right? You read parts of the scripture.
Oh God!
So
you should have saved this for December.
All right. It's amazing, Dan. Like they toss you into the first battle real quick, and I was immediately sold. And you're like typing out stuff, so you got to like move with the arrow keys to dodge the bullets, and then you got to type out all the passages, right? Every time you like miss part of the word, it takes part of that off, right? So if it's a real long word and you keep messing up, it goes all the way back to the beginning of the word. If you drop your Bible, you got to go and pick it up again. Like it'll go flying across the level and you got to run and pick it up. So it's like, that's like every stage, right? You go into a new area. I've already been in, I've already been in the Exorcist house.
Okay.
I went to a heavy metal show and fought a death metal band. I went into a strip club. yeah. They are taking me all over town. And in between every level, you go back to your house, right? And you have like a computer, but it's all like God themed, right? So instead of it being MS-DOS, it's like MS-DEUS is the operating system. And
That's
instead
funny.
of using
That's
like
actually funny.
instead of using Google to search for stuff, you use Godel, the God themed search engine.
Okay, that's actually
yeah.
that's
So you have to
clever.
do a
I
little
like
bit of research to figure out like where to go next to like open up the next mission. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm having a damn good time with it.
Do you know who made the game?
The Texorcist. I don't actually. I'm gonna try and look them up right now.
So that sounds super interesting. It sounds like a game that I would want like on the go, like on a portable system, like
It
on a
would
Switch.
be well, yeah. The thing of it is though, you need to have a keyboard.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's like the only way that works. You need to be able to find a way to like type fast, and you couldn't do a digital keyboard. It very much is like, yes, this should be on the Switch, but you would need like a Bluetooth keyboard to hook up.
Well, you know the Xbox, the the Xbox One X has keyboard support, and they put out specific keyboards with Razer, right? A couple of 2 years ago, last year.
You technically could do it. I would assume that the install base of people with Xboxes and Xbox compatible keyboards is probably very little. I would say probably very little, but it's Head Up Software or just Head Up is the name of the company. Well, actually, that's the publisher.
What a name! What a publisher! What a name for a publisher!
Head Up, and Morbidware is the developer, which is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, it came out actually last year, which is interesting, but it's free right now on the in the Epic Game Store. So I would definitely recommend picking it up. Apparently they did I think they did the Walking Dead Bridge Constructor, which is interesting.
Another classic Walking Dead game on PC.
Colt Canyon, which looks kind of cool.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Looks like they've been fairly prolific. Lots of PC stuff.
Okay, cool.
Sure. Or at least the publisher, Head Up Games. They got some interesting stuff here. Okay, cool. Yeah, but highly recommend it, especially since it's free. Download the Epic Game Store, check it out. It's good stuff.
Okay. All right. So why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of last week.
What's up, everyone? This is Lily Zaldivar from Viz Media, and you're listening to the Rated G for Gamers podcast.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. Let's get into a little scare that happened at Ubisoft Montreal. The police were called because there was a threat identified as a hostage situation, which was crazy, right? Like when I first saw this on Twitter, I was like, "Oh my god, I hope everybody's okay." But it turned out that there was really no threat at all, which thank God that there was no issue and everybody is safe. But I mean, when I first saw this, I thought this was crazy. I was like, oh my god, I hope this is not like a crazy gamer that didn't like a game that came from Ubisoft Montreal or something like that.
That's the first exactly what I thought too, because it's like then you start thinking like it's up in Canada. Nothing bad ever happens up in Canada, right? It's very peaceful. Everyone's super nice up there. It's like, no,
don't mess with the poutine. Don't say anything
Don't mess with their poutine. That's right.
Don't mess with their poutine, or don't mess with their raptors, okay? Because they will go crazy on you, okay?
Yeah.
Or cats. If you watch Netflix, or you watch Netflix, don't mess with cats.
Don't mess with cats. Yeah. So I mean, it turned out to be a fake call. I'm assuming somebody just kind of wanted to mess with the authorities and all that, right? And you call 911 or their equivalent of 911. And, cause a little stir, but thankfully nothing went down, You
know what? Now that I think about it, if you're in Canada, is it 911 that you call for an emergency? Or do you dial something else?
I mean, it's not 911 everywhere. I think in England, it's not. It's 999 or something like that.
Yeah. Listen, if you're in England,
it's not necessarily universal what the emergency number is.
If you're a listener in Canada or England, please add us and tell us: is it 911 that you call an emergency? Because I would love to know.
Yeah, we need to know.
I definitely will. I'm going to go to Canada or Europe eventually when the zombie apocalypse is over, and I need to know what I need to call in the event of an emergency. I would assume 911 anywhere. Right, at least in any English-speaking country. Right?
Dan, you would be wrong most of the time. I looked up a list pretty quickly. It varies wildly.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You would probably.
I would think at least in Canada. I think at least in Canada it would be 911.
You would probably die if you were in Armenia right now. You'd be dialing 911 and it'd go, I don't know what this number is.
All right, well, I'm not going to visit the Kardashians. I just want to know, in Canada, is it 911?
Hit us up. Let us know.
That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
That's crazy, man. I don't know about you, but thankfully I've never been in a hostage or any sort of emergency, that big of an emergency situation. There has been like fire drills and whatever, extended fire drills I've been on, right? Whatever building or school or office that I'm in, like everyone's downstairs for a while. There's like a garbage fire maybe or something like that. Nothing like crazy. Things have been like pretty good, but I don't know about you if you've ever gotten into like a situation that was like extended or possible like threat.
Well, Dave, just like you can Google stuff, I can Google stuff. Okay, I Google stuff too. All right, I can get the answer just as fast as you can.
Okay.
All right. And it says in America's 911. Okay, and Canada is 911 and 112.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You can do both. You can do both. In England, it looks like in South Africa and England, it's 112.
Oh, it is 112. Okay.
It is 112, and it looks like in Australia and all Australia country, all those countries surrounding Australia, it is also other numbers or no redirections, or so 911 or another number, basically. So it looks like it's 911 or 112 across the world. That's what it looks like.
112 is fairly popular, but like, yeah, it's there is no standard. There is no standard.
It should be standard for 911.
Yeah.
No, I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased on that.
All right. Well. Let's get back to the question. Have you ever been in a situation where it was like Scary Town?
Yes, on the show, I was stabbed.
You have told about that situation before, yeah. I mean,
yes.
and that's certainly a super scary situation. I
will tell you this. When you dial 911, it is recorded. You're not in the event of an emergency. You're not thinking about that. But when everything settles down and you have to actually go to court, you do listen to your 911 call and you're frantic, you're hysterical, and it's a little cringeworthy because I had to go to court for the situation that happened to me a couple of years ago. I think we were doing the show for a year, and someone tried to rob me, and I got stabbed. And I had to go to court, and I had to listen to my 911 call like 20,000 times.
Oh my god!
And it was cringeworthy. It was. I was like, why did I say that? Why did I say it like that? Why didn't I say it like this?
Yeah.
But in the moment, you're not thinking that you're being recorded right now.
Right. No, you just want to you want to do your best to get the information across.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
All right. That's always a hard transition for something serious. All right. But let's transition to Microsoft. Microsoft has a gazillion studios that they purchased over the last
bajillion gazillion, huh? I thought it was like 18.
No, it was bajillion gazillion.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Well, listen, I'm always here to correct you, brother. I got you.
A bajillion gazillion, all right.
You know what? Listen, they got a bajillion, but they want to get a gazillion.
Okay.
Because they're still looking to purchase studios, but they're looking to purchase Japanese studios because they want to put a footprint in Japan, which is, I think, like the second largest sort of market as far as video games go.
Used to be the first.
used to be the first. So they're looking to get a big footprint in Japan, and the only way to do that is to get Japanese-centric games. So they want to buy a Japanese-centric studio.
Well, they've been trying to do this ever since the original Xbox came out, right?
Well, during the original Xbox, they tried to partner with Japanese studios. Now they're just looking to purchase. They said, "Screw it, we're looking to purchase Japanese."
Oh, well, right. I mean, they were trying to get a foothold over there because they knew, or I guess they saw that. Well, here's this big monstrous black and green gaming system with a huge controller. Japanese ain't gonna go for that, and there was no Japanese-centric games. So Sega got very chummy with them, and Sega put out a lot of exclusives.
It was the Dreamcast too. If you like the Dreamcast, then
very much. If
you like the Dreamcast, you must like the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I want to hear nothing else, Dave. Mm-hmm. If you're a Dreamcast fan, you have your Dreamcast 2. You have your successor. Okay.
I mean, it very much was the evolution, right? If you put the Dreamcast and the Xbox controller side by side, you can see the evolution, right? It had the two like memory card ports or whatever on there. It had built-in internet on there, right? It was very forward thinking.
If you like the original Xbox, please add us and tell Dave he's wrong. Okay, the
original Xbox did a lot of wrong things.
System, great system. Other than it being big, what did it do wrong?
It didn't have the exclusives on there.
It had plenty exclusives.
Besides Halo, it didn't really have any exclusives.
Fable was an amazing exclusive. I'm sorry, Fable.
Yeah, Fable not a system seller. Sorry.
Yes. You know what?
Fable not a system seller.
Plenty of people are saying if Fable, like they had the Fable reboot or the next Fable game for the Xbox Series X, that would win the console wars for the 9th gen for them. Like,
well, a reboot of the game is perfectly fine. I like the art style. I like the audio. The presentation of the game was great. It's just everything else that was terrible about it.
It was terrible about the system, other than the fact that it was big and the controller was big. Other than that, the system was amazing.
It didn't have a lot of exclusives. It definitely didn't have a lot of good RPGs.
2. Please tell me where you can play Shenmue 2, and Crazy Taxi.
I can play it on any current gen system. I can play it on PS4. God. I can play it on. I can play it on Xbox One.
Back then,
and I can play it on PC too.
In 2002, where can you play Shenmue and Crazy Taxi?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can play Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast or the PlayStation.
No, well, the next.
The third one was the one that was, I believe, exclusive. The one that was in Vegas.
It was like a time exclusive. It was a time exclusive because I think it did come to PS2 and GameCube eventually, right?
Oh, maybe it did, but it wasn't even that great.
Like, because I have it for the GameCube.
It didn't really push the ball forward.
All right, we're not gonna get into this argument.
Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl didn't push the ball forward.
No, it didn't push the ball forward for you. Toe Jam and Earl was a great game. Come on.
It wasn't a system.
Come on, Blink.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Blink. Conquer.
Blinks, the time sleeper
Conquer,
was a technological marvel, not a great game.
Conquer, listen, I can go on.
Conquer was just a remake of the N64 game, and
Torque
not that great.
Torque was exclusive.
Torque
was. Yeah,
I don't even know what that game is.
Great platformer. It was a great platformer.
Wow.
Voodoo Vince.
That was multi-platform.
No, Voodoo Vince was exclusive.
Oh, well, it was a standard platformer. It wasn't anything. It was a standard 3D platformer.
Oh my god! All right, we're not getting into this discussion.
You are simping for Xbox right now.
Listen, we're gonna do a show just on how great and how wrong Dave was.
This is gonna be a one-man show, Dax. I don't have anything great to say about it.
I have plenty of great things.
The only great thing I can say about the Xbox is that, and I love the 360 and I love the Xbox One, but the original Xbox was a little kind of meh. The best thing to come out of that was Halo, and they bought it because it was going to be an online head-to-head big multiplayer style game, Humans versus the Covenant, and it was a very different style game. Microsoft said, we love this tech, we're going to buy it, you're going to be an in-house studio, and you're going to make this game for us. And it was amazing.
Time Splitters is better on Xbox, I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, just about all the games look better because it was a more powerful system.
Serious Sam was better on that.
You were scrambling. That's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that it wasn't a more powerful system, but it had a big clunky controller. And
that was the only issue. And they fixed it. That was the only issue. Panzer Dragoon.
I don't know if they necessarily fixed it. The Xbox One S was a normal size controller, or the Xbox
Oddworld Munch's Odyssey exclusive. Great game.
Just because they're exclusive doesn't mean they're great.
Ninja Gaiden Black.
Yeah, which also came to the 360, so I could play it there.
At the time, exclusive. Great game.
That's fine. Ninja Gaiden was great, man. And Ninja Gaiden is like one of those games. One of those few games that is like, yes,
Defeat the Darkness. Is awesome. Great game for the Xbox. Get out
Dan,
of here.
you're just rattling off every game that's exclusive and calling it great.
And they were all great. They were all great for the game. They were all great.
Nightcaster. That game was trash, Dan.
That game was not trash. Get out of here. Oh my God, don't get me started.
That game was trash. It was in the same boat as Azurit.
Fusion Frenzy.
Yeah. Bill Gates' favorite game.
Yeah, that was a great game. Get out of here.
And when was the last time you played that?
Destroy All Humans was a better game on Xbox than it was a PS2.
When was the last time you played Fusion Frenzy?
When I did a piece about the Xbox on our website, which you should go to, ratedg.com, right? ratedgforgamers.com.
Did you finally publish it? You didn't publish it yet.
I did publish it. It's on there.
Yeah? Well, I didn't see it.
It's on there. And all the Burnout games, Burnout 2 and Burnout 3, were better on Xbox.
They're all on other systems.
But they're better on the Xbox.
You can't tell me they're better because they're better, Dad. All right,
they're better on the Xbox.
We're good here. You're not going to convince me that just by reading off game titles that are also on Xbox that it's a far superior system.
Listen,
anyway,
we were just talking about Def Jam Fight for New York, and you had it on the original Xbox. It was better for the original Xbox.
I had it on the Xbox. Yeah, no, it certainly looked prettier. Though, don't get me wrong. Like, it was the most powerful system of that console generation. It did have that going for it. You know, it had a lot of horsepower in it, but it was essentially just PC parts off the shelf that were put into a large X shell. All right, that's what that console was. And it was certainly fine. Look, I love playing it, and there was a lot of really cool games on there. I love Jet Set Radio.
Breakdown was a hidden gem.
I love
that original Xbox. Breakdown was a hidden gem for the original Xbox.
I know. You're a big fan. We're not
going to get into this. I can't believe I'm defending the Xbox. I can't believe I'm defending the Xbox, the original Xbox, which is
how can you not? How can you not? You do it every episode, Dan.
Which is the second most underrated game of all time, behind the Sega Saturn and in front of the Wii U. I'm sorry, the three most underrated systems. I'm saying it right now is the Sega Saturn, the original Xbox, and the Wii U.
The Wii U that had like 3 games, and that was it.
Called it.
There's 3 games on the Wii U. How can it be underrated? There's nothing to play on it.
All right, Dreamcast was rated. Okay, it was rated. It wasn't under, it wasn't over. It was just rated. But we're not going to get into that. That's a show. We're going to save that for a regular show that we're just going to do.
Well, I think we spent about 10 minutes talking about how you love the simp for Xbox.
I'm just saying, we're gonna. I can name all the exclusive games. Okay, Otogi 1 and 2, right? Which are from software games that are exclusive for the Xbox. Can't play anywhere else, and they were amazing. They're amazing if you like that style of games. If you like those style of games, you like Bloodborne,
hidden gems.
If you like Bloodborne, the origins of that comes from Otogi, right?
Is that going to get you? Is that going to get someone to buy the system? I don't think so. Halo would.
People call Bloodborne a system seller. People say that
Bloodborne is not Otogi, and Otogi is not Bloodborne. They're
the same thing.
They're different.
They're hard ass games I would never play. I don't like the game, but if you like it,
so there you go. There you go. You're trying to say, hey, play this awesome game that's very difficult. It'll be great.
If you like super hard games, you could play Togi and Togi 2, right?
Or you could just play Bloodborne on your current gen system.
No.
Anyway.
We're not going to talk about this. Speaking of these studios, buying other studios, Take-Two just made an acquisition. They acquired Codemasters quietly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's out of nowhere, right? And we talked about, there was a rumor that Sony was going to buy Take-Two, which owns like all the NBA 2K games, all the 2K franchises, and they own Mafia, the whole Mafia franchise and stuff like that, right?
But as well as Rockstar Games. And
Rockstar Games, yeah. But they quietly acquired Codemasters. So what do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I sure.
Well, just so you know, they acquired it for $994 million.
Right. Well, they're a pretty solid studio. They've had a bit of a rocky past. I will say that. I mean, they started making like the Micro Machines games back in the day, but now they're doing stuff like Dirt, F1, Project Cars, right? So they do almost, I would say, almost primarily racing games now, right? So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean that's like pretty much their portfolio. So they obviously saw some good stuff in them. Dirt 5 is apparently a very good game. Everyone's kind of pretty happy about it right now.
Next gen game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. They obviously saw value.
It's worth almost $1 billion though.
I don't know. apparently, like Take-Two thinks so. If you ask for my opinion, I would say no. But they probably saw like good development talent, right? Because that's usually what it is, right? You take all the good talent, you cannibalize the company, and you bring them into the fold, and you make Take-Two bigger, right? Or now it's under their umbrella, and Codemasters will still make the games that they're going to make, and Take-Two will take a ton of their profits, right? Because they're now like the parent company of them. So Yeah, I mean, if I was Take-Two, I would say, like, why? No, you have good in-house talent, right? There's people that make the code that powers the engines that power like Red Dead and like GTA, and it always has like pretty good like driving physics. But maybe they're like, hey, Codemasters, come into our fold, make our racing component, make our driving component to these games better. So maybe it's like a play to make GTA 6 the best racing game ever. You're gonna get besides like Sony and like Polyphony Digital or Turn 10 Studios that makes Forza, right? I think Codemasters is probably true. Like the third best company.
No, that's true. I agree with that.
So maybe that's their play. Who knows? Like Take-Two was probably thinking about this for a while, and it took them a while to make the move. And it's
what it means. We're gonna have more microtransactions in our dirt games.
Well, that's inevitable, sadly, right? Because it's going to be now. Dirt's going to be this like open world racing game.
Remember when 2K bought? I forgot the studio that made NBA Underground, right? Because they came out with NBA Underground 1, which was just digital only, and they bought them and they came out with Underground 2K. It was like Underground 2K, and they had all these microtransactions in it. So I just see Dirt 6 right coming out, and they'll have all these microtransactions. Just to appease 2K. I could see that happening.
Right. Was it Private Divisions? Was that the company or no?
That owned NBA Underground?
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know off the top of my head. I remember like NBA Underground was like one of the games I bought, not at launch, but close to launch. Well, close after launch for the Switch. That I wanted, because I was starving for something to play on the Switch. So I bought that.
Oh, Saber Interactive. That's the company.
Saber Interactive. That's right. Saber Interactive. And then they got bought out by 2K, and it was like NBA. I'll never forget. It was NBA Underground 2K. All right, which made sense because they bought them and they had all these microtransactions in the game. So let's shift gears to something that I know that's close to your heart, and that's FIFA. Because you and your brother are big soccer, or if you're in Europe. Football fans,
or the rest of the world. Actually, we're the only people that call it soccer.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
And we call football, or American style football, which has nothing to do with your feet.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I want to say this. I love Skip Bayless. He was, he created. He was on a show called Cold Pizza in the early 2000s. Then he had First Take, and now he is in Skip and Shannon, right? Undisputed. And the one thing about American football that he absolutely hates is the kicking of the field goal, which is why it's called football, because you kick a field goal and you kick the extra point after every touchdown, right?
Which is
he hates that because he thinks they're not real football players. Yeah. Well, I would say 10% of the game at least, because you kick it after every touchdown, and you kick field goals if you're in field goal range.
I mean, like time-wise, though, like how long does it take to kick the ball? Like the play runs like what, 6 seconds at best? Very quick. It's very quick.
I will say this: if you're a field goal kicker, you can last 20 years in the league. Because you don't get hit.
No, it's people that play into their 40s. I
know, because you could be drafted at 20 years old because you're like 98% accuracy kicking the football in college, and then you could spend 25 years in the league. I mean, there are people in the league right now kicking field goals that have been kicking since the 90s.
Yeah,
right?
Fiegels on the Giants, man, who helped them win helped the Giants win the Super Bowl, was 42 at the time.
Well, put it this way. Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl on a field goal kick.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And then he helped Peyton Manning win the Super Bowl on field goal kick. So it is what it is. But
you know what's wait before we move on. You know what's even crazier than the actual kicker is the guy who holds the ball.
Well,
he does nothing.
No, that's not true, because you can be anybody. Remember, Russell Wilson used to hold the ball for their field goal kicker back in early days when he was, brand new to the league.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, and they I think they were in the playoffs and they missed the field goal, and it was like, yeah, we're not gonna have you hold the ball anymore because you're the quarterback back.
I mean, you got to keep it upright.
People want to hit you. People want to hit you. People want to hit you.
All you gotta do is this, Dan. You take your pointer finger and you go like that, and you hold it upright. That's it. And when they kick it, you move your foot, you move your hand away.
So, you would appreciate this at FIFA 21 to add tools to curb spending, playing time, and more. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, that's pretty interesting. It's basically it's a Band-Aid over the problem, right?
I didn't think you would say that. That's new.
Well, it's a Band-Aid over the problem. Like the problem at hand is this, right?
Tell me what the problem is, Dave.
With all of those games, FIFA is probably one of the worst because they have their FIFA Ultimate Team or FUT, right? Where you buy random packs of cards and you get players, right? And there's a percentage that you can get a gold star, you can get Messi or Mbappe or whatever, you can get like a top tier player, and you won't because that's the thing. Or they'll guarantee you one in the first pack or whatever, and then all the subsequent ones will have like standard rates or whatever it is, right? They dangle a little thing in front of you for it, right? And that's really the big thing. The microtransactions in general is a bit of a problem because people are saying that it's gambling and kids don't understand the repercussions of it, and it's a little bit predatory. And we had some things like Belgium, like FIFA in Belgium doesn't have the packs like that, right? They don't have the microtransactions like that.
EA is in the middle of a class action lawsuit that we just found out. That's why they make a major story over predatory practices over microtransactions. They're saying that EA is making the games harder so you can buy microtransactions. Right,
and that's interesting too, right? Like we've actually seen that in games like Shadow of Mordor and like a handful of other games where it affects the single player, right? Because like you need to have there needs to be a reason to buy these points, right? You need to say like, wow, hey, that's a lot of in-game currency. I don't want to spend time grinding on that. Let me spend $5 and buy the credits to then unlock the thing that gets me the thing. So like it's affecting gameplay in that way, and now apparently it's affecting difficulty level, which is terrible, right? And then that is a huge problem. And they will get caught on that if they can prove that out, right? If there's a way that they can say, like, well, here it is versus previous years, and you got to do a lot of number crunching and put things side by side and say, like, well, like, the matchups in this case are more harder than they were in, previous generations of games, right? FIFA 19, 18, 17, it wasn't that way, but now it is. And it's a way to pressure people to buy credits to get the packs, which then is gambling. So where you may get a Messi or an Mbappe or whatever on your team, a gold level, 85 plus stat player that's like that may help you win, right? You still need to like play with that player and make them kick a goal. All right. So it's insane. And what the tool does basically, right? It's out for PC. It will be out for consoles November 17th. So I believe when this episode goes down, there's going to be an update, which will have the playtime tool, as they call it. And it basically monitors like your playtime, and it monitors how much money you're spending in the game. And it will let you know in-game and also out of game. It'll monitor some of that stuff. It'll display it in a slightly different way if you're buying it out of game, like via the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, right? If you buy credits that way, which is fine, which is all well and good. But what is it really doing, right? You still have the component where you can roll the dice and gamble and possibly get more players. And is that curbing addiction in any way, shape, or form? I don't really think so. All right, people that want to do it are still going to do it. You give them the means, you give them the matches. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start a fire, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this because you're giving me tools to do it. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is necessarily, but it is a bit of a problem. And if they're purposely making the FUT matchups harder so that you are enticed to buy more packs to get a better squad, yeah, you got a bit of a problem there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I leave that up to you. I leave that to you. You said this is a Band-Aid on a problem.
Well, I mean, do
Again-
you think it's actually gonna like telling people, hey, you've done this and you've spent this amount of money?
So I'm just saying, as a grown man gamer, okay, and we talked about Devil May Cry, which isn't EA, to be fair. I was
Capcom,
okay
yeah.
with buying rubies and stuff to upgrade my upgrade Dante,
Right.
because I don't have time to sit here and grind if the game was grindy to begin with, right? Like we had that discussion, I don't know how many episodes ago, about
It was a
them
while
making it
ago.
grindy.
Mhm.
But I said, well, what if it was just grindy to begin with? And they said, this is an easier way, so you don't have to grind, because I don't have the time at my advanced age, because I have other things I need to do, and I don't really have. I'm not a kid anymore where I have to sit here and grind to upgrade Dante so I can be powerful enough to actually
Well,
beat the game.
Do you buy
Right.
like credits? Do you buy like the Helix credits in like Assassin's Creed or whatever the Devil May Cry credit thing is?
I would, if it means that I don't have to.
But you don't.
I can.
But you don't.
Well, I don't like. I'm not a big Assassin's Creed fan because it's mostly about stealth, and I'm not a big stealth guy.
What about like Devil May Cry? Like that's the game we're talking about here, right?
I was okay with buying the rupees.
But
I was
did
okay to
you?
buy them. Well, because I fell off of Devil May Cry, to be honest,
Okay.
because I couldn't get and that was because I couldn't get the PS4 version. It was sold out everywhere, and I ended up getting the Xbox version, which is not the version I really wanted, because Devil May Cry, the mechanics really. I like the DualShock 4, and I really wanted to play it with the DualShock 4, which is why when they announced on the PlayStation 5, and then subsequently it said it would be out for the Xbox, that you could get the special edition. I was just, and it was a digital only thing, right? And I would buy it when I get the actual PS5, that I would get back into Devil May Cry 5, because I just love the form factor of the DualShock controller. DualShock 4 will do sense, to be fair. Now, it's a Bayonetta style game that I love Bayonetta. That if I had to grind somewhat, where it's like, here's an extra hour of grinding, you need to get rupees, I'd rather just pay for it so I didn't have to grind,
Right.
because I don't have that time to grind, because at my advanced age, I have other things I need to do. My time is more valuable now than it ever was before in life.
Oh, and
I would
I
do it.
get that. I get that 100%, which is why like you don't play Souls games and.
Oh
part of
my
the
god,
reason-
I don't have the time for Souls games.
Right, exactly, because the
definitely
difficulty is
don't
way
have
too
time.
high. You don't want to. It has a high learning curve. You don't want to spend the time to basically grind out your skill. Right, you're trying to you keep doing the same thing over and over again until you know how to dodge, roll out of the way, and attack at the right time. It's tough. It's tough. So I mean, I get that, but just like with the allegations brought against EA with their foot situation, right, where they're intentionally trying to entice you to buy these packs, right? And
I trust Capcom more than I trust EA, to be honest.
But that's the thing, though. Like they're not gonna go through and build this whole entire system out to cross their fingers and say, hey, we hope you buy these DLC pack credits or whatever, because we need to recoup money on this. They know people are going to buy it, right? There's a small set of people that are going to buy these credits, right? And the way that they push that in their favor is that where it would be 1,000 in-game credits would now be 10,000 in-game credits, right? To say, whoa, now it kind of gives me pause to say, you're saying I don't want to spend an hour or 2 hours. I want to play through the game and get the abilities as I go. Now it's like, well, it's going to take me a day to get this ability, right? Or I could just spend $5. I'm an adult. I have money.
I would spend the $5, to be honest.
See, but that's the thing, though. If they didn't have microtransactions, the numbers wouldn't be as inflated or bloated.
Yeah,
or
my
it would
devil's
be like an
advocate- my
end game
devil's
ability.
My devil's advocate would be NES games balls hard. Okay, and if they had microtransactions to make them less hard, I would pay for them.
Well,
so what if they were made balls hard in the beginning, just period. That's the game, right? No microtransactions, and then they add microtransactions later on to make it easier.
Well,
I would still buy the game. Sekiro dies twice, right? Like that's a game. That's a Souls game.
Shadows died twice, I think, right? Sekiro,
okay, whatever. Like that's a game that people say that the story is fantastic, but I'll never know because it's a Souls type game.
Yeah.
So if they had microtransactions to make the game easier, or they had an easy mode, I would jump into that game like right now. Like I would put that. I would jump. Now that it's retro because it's on 8th gen, I would make it a Saturday morning retro thing, and I would play it as long, on easy, just so I can get to the story because I'm all about story. That's why I play games.
The thing about the NES and in the SNES too, SNES Genesis era, those games were intentionally made hard to prevent.
They were arcade games.
That was
arcade games.
That was definitely part of it, but they also wanted to prevent the rental scene, right? Because they weren't making money. Like Blockbuster would buy 10 copies of the game, but then they would rent them out ad infinitum to people, and they didn't want people to rent the games. They wanted people to buy them. They didn't want people to beat them in a weekend. So some developers purposely made their games hard that it was more than a weekend rental, and that you would go out and like buy your Final Fantasy or buy your Battletoads game, right? Because you're like, well, I can't beat this. I'm not going to keep running it.
Battletoads is just unfair.
I'm going to get it.
Battletoads is unfair. I don't care what you say. Battletoads.
Yeah, it was purposely made hard so that you would buy the game. Like, and Rare has said that in interviews. Like, they're like, yeah, we wanted to make this game balls hard, And even in the arcade, they're like, how do we milk the most amount of quarters from the gamer, right? That was their intention there, and they brought that to the home consoles. How do we get people to buy this game, right? So that's like a little bit of a different situation. I hear what you're saying, but it can never not affect, even if it's a single player experience. It can never not affect the single player experience, because if it's 100 credits versus if it's like 100 credits, right? And you can get the credits within like 5 minutes. Like no one's gonna buy the DLC for it, right? So you need to make the numbers work in their favor to say like, look, you could get the DLC and here it is. I just don't like it. I get why they do it, but you have to find you got to find the right balance. I guess is the situation, right? How do you get it to where some people can buy this stuff, but then you can also play it without getting the credit? Or without buying credits or whatever for like real world money, and still get a good experience out of the game and not feel like, ugh, that's the trick.
Well, again, I'm not for microtransactions. Like I'm not like an advocate for microtransactions at all.
Right.
All I'm saying is, if the game from the jump was made balls hard, right? Like the vision of the developer was to make the game hard, like any From Software game, Demon Souls, Bloodborne,
right.
Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3, and a Togi 1 and 2, right, for original Xbox, which was the second most underrated console of all time. Just want to throw that in.
According to a one Dan Robinson, who is apparently the source for all Xbox information.
I'm the spokesman.
Like The Rock.
If the game is, The Rock, to be fair, 20th anniversary of The Rock and Bill Gates getting together to announce the original Xbox, they gave a bunch of hospitals with kids that have cancer.
Yeah.
Custom Rock Xbox Series
It was
X.
a good look. Yeah,
it was a great look. I wish. I mean, that's gonna be a collector's item 20 years from now, right? Do you have that?
That's not how you're supposed to look at that story.
I'm sorry. I'm a collector. I can only look at stories that collect.
Wow, Dad, you just made this morbid.
I'm sorry.
Why can't the kids just have a good time playing Xbox?
They're gonna have a good time playing Xbox, and they're gonna have a good time selling that shit on eBay when they get a little older, when they survive cancer and they beat cancer because they survivors. They did it, right? They did it. They beat cancer, and now they're making a lot of money selling their Xbox, the custom Series X Rock systems on
Wow,
eBay.
wow! You just Disney-fied the story of people who have cancer. Very nice.
No, listen, they beat it. In my story, they beat it.
So.
Okay, they
I
beat
hope
it.
so.
They beat it. Nobody lost. Nobody
No.
lost. It's
You never want that to happen.
Owen Infinity. They beat cancer. I'm sorry.
Nice, nicely done. Nicely done.
Any hard as balls game has an easy mode that I have to pay for. I'll pay for it. That's all I'm saying. I'll pay for it. I will. As long as this is $5, $10, I'll do it. I will do it if it means I can save on the grinding time just to get the story.
So instead of a developer making an easy mode, they're going to make you pay for it.
You said they shouldn't have an easy mode.
That sets a bad precedent.
You said they shouldn't have an easy mode. You said they shouldn't have an easy mode.
Well, I didn't say that. I said it's up to the developer if they don't want to put one in.
No. We said Yoshi's, like all the Yoshi's Island games, right? Mm-hmm. Are too easy, and you said they should have like a difficulty mode, right, to make it a little bit tougher for people who want to challenge.
I'm saying they could. I'm saying
if that's
you could
the case,
do that.
if that's the case, the games that are balls as hard should have an easy mode for people like me that just care about the story.
You definitely can't make people pay for them because that sets a precedent. Because then every developer is going to do that.
I'm okay with $5.
Then EA is going to do that. It's the principle of the matter. It's not the amount of money in this case. I don't necessarily know about that.
I'm okay with $5.
But yet you've never paid for microtransaction DLC stuff.
That's all I'm saying. I've paid ever for microtransactions.
Well, see, there you go. You're making my point. Then
I've never in my life paid for microtransactions.
Yeah, so you say you're okay with it, but yet you've never bought any microtransaction.
Yet. I mean, if the game is listen, if right now they said, because we just got through saying earlier in the show that me and you have zero interest in buying Demon Souls Remastered for the PS5, which is an exclusive for the PS5.
I may get around to it. Playing it. I don't have a PS5 right now.
It doesn't matter if I have a PS5. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it full price. I'm buying it in a bargain bin next year for $10. If they said right now, Demon Souls easy mode, $4.99, I'm buying it. I'm spending the $65, $75 for the game and getting the easy mode just so I can get the story. I will buy it hands down.
There's not really a story.
Easy money.
But there's not really a story in Demon Souls, so you're gonna be very unsatisfied.
Two hit kills. I'll buy it right now.
Well, they're not gonna do that. That's definitely not happening.
Well, I would.
I understand.
I'm just telling you, easy money. I'll do it right now. So that's what I'm saying.
All right.
Wow, that went a little bit longer than I thought it would. All right. You really have your beliefs on this. And again, I haven't bought DLC that was to this ilk, and I would. I am willing. I
mean, you say that, but you've grinded it out, or just took a stand and not played the game.
I guess in most cases I've taken a stand and just not played the game. Like
there
people
you
say
go.
Bloodborne.
There you go.
I look at the PS. As hard as it hurts my heart to look at people's top 10 PS4 games, and we're gonna get into last gen at some point, in next month in December. And Bloodborne is like top 3 in a lot of people's, top 10 PS4 games, and it hurts my heart. Because it's not even my top 100. It's like 99 games I would play over Bloodborne. I'm sorry. Bloodborne is just too...
Yeah, it is. I can't get past the first boss. Although I only put like an hour into it.
I don't know how people like it. I give up. I don't know how this
people
is the
like
top...
a challenge, Dad. Some people like a challenge.
I need an easy mode. I'm sorry. I don't know how people like it.
I understand. Some people want a challenge. That's all.
All right, so let's transition out of that to Twitch streamers. Okay, Twitch streamers have been taking a stance and protesting the new sort of DMCA policies of Twitch. It's mostly on the music, right? Like Twitch's algorithm have been flagging people for licensed music, even if it's just playing in the background of a Twitch stream or the game itself. Like the game, they're flagging the game. So people have been putting everything on mute and making their own sound effects in protest, and it's hilarious. It's sad and hilarious at the same time. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, hold on. To clarify, like the music thing has been around for a little bit, but apparently in-game audio is being flagged, right? Like sound effects and whatnot. Is that what they're saying? Like
and it's funny. I mean, it's crazy. Like you're playing the game itself. Mm-hmm. Like, first of all, Twitch was made for streamers itself to play video games. Okay, so Twitch, and its mission statement is you playing a video game, right, in its entirely, and streaming it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what Twitch is. It's not like YouTube where it's like, you know, you can edit the video. Twitch is a streaming platform for video game. Right now you can stream anything, but it's at its creation, it was just streaming video games. So if any music at all that's in the video game, you're getting flagged for and taken down, which is ridiculous. And out of protest, people have been making their own sound effects.
Right.
Which I think is hilarious, because you just sit here and someone saying, you know, they're streaming any type of game, like a Walking Dead game, and they're killing a zombie and they're making the sound effects.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Or they're making their own gun
gun noises, right.
Gun noises.
Well, somebody got flagged for a grandfather clock noise that was in the game. That was
ridiculous,
right? Because it was specific enough. It was specific enough to kick off an automated copyright strike, right? And this is all it is. It's all an algorithm in the back end that does it. That's insane. Like, if you can't play like anything related to the game, it's like, that's like part of it, right? You want to hear the sound effects. You want to hear like the in-game music. Like, I kind of get it if it's like, you know, Lady Gaga or Jay-Z is like on the soundtrack. Like, all right, maybe you got to mute that, which still I think kind of sucks because you're kind of making something new out of it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a terrible time to be a streamer until they end up like working out a best case scenario for all parties involved. It's like the Wild West.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
This is what you do. Just listen to their sound effects. It's hilarious. I mean, it's just
listen to their in-game sound effects. I mean, you know, I think the novelty on that is going to wear off after a little while.
Well, you know what? The only way this can change, and from a YouTube standpoint as well, is if people just stop watching, right? And then it's like the protest doesn't need to really come from the streamers, which can help, but it needs to come from the viewers. If the viewers say we're tuning out if you do this because it's not fair, right? Like, it's not like they're just playing the Michael Jackson album with nothing in the back, like nothing else, right?
Right. They're making new content over this.
Yeah, you remember Music Choice back in cable, back in the days when you could
go call up and punch in the song you want to hear. Yeah.
It's not that. It's they're playing a video game, and the video game itself has this music in it. That's not their problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if the only way is viewers, we tune out, and then advertisers aren't getting that money, but they would be getting that money if you fucking stop these crazy practices. Then then change will happen.
Yeah. That's a good point. And I guess we'll end on that note. That is episode 244, and that is in the books, folks. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon at Rated G for Gamers. And also, don't forget that we are giving away one copy of Cyberpunk 2077 for the system of your choice, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PC. To enter this contest, you must be following us on YouTube. You must like this video and drop a comment on what you are looking forward to in Cyberpunk in the comment section below. You can enter this once per episode up until the launch of the game. And also, this giveaway is open to U.S. residents only. So good luck to all who enter. And finally, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.